Hello dear students, welcome again. We completed the chapter matrices. Finally, we will answer the questions given in miscellaneous exercise. First three questions in this miscellaneous exercise require to prove the result for n any positive integer. Like here in the first question they are given matrix A, required to show that ai plus ba whole to the power of n, where I is identity matrix of order 2. This is same as a power of n times of I plus n into a power of n minus 1 into b into matrix A, where n is any natural number, nothing but positive integer. I hope you remember in first PUC we learnt mathematical induction chapter. What is that mathematical induction? It is one of the method of proving the results, theorem, a mathematical statement involving positive integer n. So, we will try to prove this using mathematical induction. Now, let us start. I hope you remember what is the procedure of proving a statement or theorem using mathematical induction. 3-step procedure. In the first step, we have to show that given statement or theorem is true for some particular value of n, preferably we take n equal to 1. Next, we need to assume that let the given result statement is true for certain natural numbers may n equal to k. Then in the third stage, we have to show that given result or statement is even true when n takes k plus 1. With this, by mathematical induction, we can say that given statement or theorem is true for all positive integers. Now, let us do it by mathematical induction. So, this is the given matrix, this is the given statement. So, let me write that statement as Pn, statement involving n. In the first stage, I have to show that this result is true for n equal to 1. So, I take n equal to 1. What is the LHS part? LHS part of this statement? It is ai plus ba whole to the power of 1. Nothing but it is ai plus ba. Now, consider RHS part. A to the power of 1 into I plus 1 into a to the power of 1 minus 1 into ba. Nothing but it is a into I, a power of 0 1, 1 into ba, ba. Therefore, the result is true for n equal to 1. LHS ai plus ba, RHS is also ai plus ba when we take n equal to 1. Therefore, this given statement is true when n takes 1. Therefore, Pn is true when n equal to 1 is established. Next, we assume that statement is true for say n equal to k. Then what happens to this? What happens to the statement? ai plus ba whole to the power of k is equal to a to the power of k into I plus k times of a to the power of k minus 1 into b into a. This is an assumption step, that is statement is true for n equal to k. So, I simply replace n with k. This is what the result. In the third stage, I had to show that this result is true for even n equal to k plus 1 also. We now prove that statement is true, statement or result is true for n equal to k plus 1. That is, to prove that ai plus ba whole to the power of k plus 1. Wherever n is there, you replace with k plus 1. It is a to the power of k plus 1 into I plus k plus 1 times of a to the power of k plus 1 minus 1, a to the power of k into b into a. This is what the result I had to prove. In order to prove this result, let me start with LHS of this. So consider AI plus BA whole to the power of k plus 1. What I can write this AI plus BA whole to the power of k plus 1 using law of indices? I write it as AI plus BA whole to the power of k into AI plus BA. Now, let me substitute for this expression using equation 1. So, we assume that result is true for n equal to k. AI plus BA whole to the power of k is this. This is true. Now, let me write. That is equal to a to the power of k into I plus k into a to the power of k minus 1 into b into a into bracket AI plus BA. Let me multiply one by one. A to the power of k into I. A to the power of k is one real number. I is a matrix. Scalar multiplication of matrix it is. So this is to be multiplied with a into I. Constants. A to the power of k into a. It is a to the power of k plus 1. I into I square. What I square is? I only. I into I is equal to I only. Plus, or if you want, initially you can write I square. Just like a into a square. I into I square. Plus, multiply this two now. A to the power of k into b. I am writing scalar first. Then I into a. Plus. Now multiply these two. K times of a to the power of k minus 1 into a. A to the power of k into b into ai plus. Now multiply these two. It is k into a to the power of k minus 1, b into b square, matrix A into A, matrix A square. Now here, let me check what is A square is. A square is matrix A into A, that is 0 1 0 0 into matrix 0 1 0 0. Both are square matrices of order 2. Multiplication is defined. Multiply and check what is the result, what is the matrix. First row, first column 0 into 0 plus 1 into 0, 0. First row, second column 0 into 1 plus 1 into 0, 0. Second row, first column 0. Second row, second column 0. That is, you are ending with null matrix. So replace this with null matrix. Let us simplify now. A to the power of k plus 1 into I square. What is I square? I itself. Plus a to the power of k into b. What identity matrix into A will give us? A is square matrix of order 2. I is identity matrix of order 2. On multiplying, you are ending with A only. Plus k into a to the power of k, b into a, because a into I will give us what? I only. A into I will give us A only. So I written this plus. Now look at this part. Here, this part. K times of a to the power of k minus 1 into b square into null matrix. This is a scalar, some real number multiplied with null matrix. What you are going to get? Null matrix only. It is a real number. This is matrix. On multiplying a real number to matrix, you are ending with matrix. You multiply any real number to null matrix, you are ending with null matrix. That is what I written. This is equal to. On adding matrix to null matrix, it remains same. So here a to the power of k plus 1 into I plus, in these two matrices, in these two terms, what is common? A to the power of k is common, b is also common. So a to the power of k into b into matrix A. If we take it common, in the first term I left with 1, second term k plus null matrix. When null matrix is added, it is not going to change. So it is a to the power of k plus 1 into I plus, look at the result to be proved. Here it is, k plus 1 times of 1 plus k is same as k plus 1 times of a to the power of k into b into a. So we arrived at this stage. So now you write, therefore Pn is true, that is given statement is true or given result is true for n equal to k plus 1. Hence, by mathematical induction, Pn is true for all positive integers. That completes the example. In PUC first year we learned that mathematical induction. So using mathematical induction we are able to prove this result. Second one, it is quite simple, you can prove that. I will answer third question. In third question, they are given, if this is a matrix, prove that a power of n equal to, where n is any positive integer. Again, we have to prove it by mathematical induction. This is the given matrix. I will write this result as Pn, statement containing n for n equal to 1. What is the LHS? It is a to the power of 1, nothing but matrix A, and nothing but it is 3 minus 4, 1 minus 1. What about RHS now? In the RHS, substitute n equal to 1, 1 plus 2, 3, it is minus 4, 1, 1 minus 2, minus 1. Therefore, Pn is true, statement is true for n equal to 1. Next, assumption. Assume that a given statement or result is true, Pn is true for n equal to k. That is, a to the power of k equal to, a to the power of k equal to, it is 1 plus 2k minus 4k, k 1 minus 2k. We now prove that Pn is true for n equal to k plus 1. That is, a to the power of k plus 1 equal to, what you have to get here? 1 plus 2 times of k plus 1. Here, in this result, wherever n is there, you have to get k plus 1. So, minus 4n, it is minus 4 times of k plus 1 Second row, k is there, you have to get k plus 1. It is 1 minus 2 times of k plus 1. So this is what you have to get. For that, let me start with a to the power of k plus 1. Consider a to the power of k plus 1. It is a to the power of k into a. What is a to the power of k? It is 1 plus 2k matrix, 1 plus 2k minus 4k, k 1 minus 2k into matrix A. Matrix A is 3 minus 4. Second row, 1 minus 1. Multiply now. First row, first column. 1 plus 2k into 3. It is 3 plus 6k minus 4k into 1 minus 4k. First row, first column is completed. First row, second column. Minus 4 minus 8k. First row, second column. 1 plus 2k into minus 4 minus 4k into minus 1. It is plus 4k. Next, second row, first column. K into 3. It is 3k. 1 minus 2k into 1. It is 1 minus 2k. Second row, second column. It is minus 4k minus 1 plus 2k is equal to 3 plus 2k. This is minus 4 minus 4k. 3k minus 2k, k plus 1 minus 4k plus 2k minus 2k minus 1. Look at the result. We had to get this. Try to arrange. Almost done. Try to arrange it in this manner. So without changing the values, I can write this 3 can be splitted as what? 1 plus 2. 3 plus 2k is 1 plus 2 plus 2k you can write. Then 1 plus 2 times of 1 plus k you can write. So therefore it is 1 plus 2 times of k plus 1. The same expression I written. Next here, minus 4 minus 4k. It is written as minus 4 times of k plus 1. This element written as it is k plus 1. Look at the last element 1 minus 2 times of k plus 1. Simplify this. How much it is? 1 minus 2k minus 2. How much 1 minus 2k minus 2? It is a minus 2k minus 1. Same expression we have. So therefore, I write it as 1 minus 2 times of k plus 1. Now look at this. This is exactly same as the given result when n is equal to k plus 1. Therefore, Pn is true for n equal to k plus 1. Hence, by mathematical induction, Pn is true, that is given statement is true for all positive integers. That completes the example. Now let us take the fourth question. In fourth question, they are given if A and B are symmetric matrices, then prove that AB minus BA is a skew symmetric matrix. I hope you remember. In order to show that matrix X is skew symmetric, sufficient to show that its transpose is a negative of X. That itself will say that matrix X is skew symmetric. So let me mark this AB minus BA matrix as X just for convenience. Let matrix X equal to AB minus BA. Consider x dash, that is a transpose of x I am writing. So earlier, transpose of matrix, the properties of transpose matrix, what we learnt is A minus B whole dash is A dash minus B dash. So here A is AB, B is BA. So what I can write now? AB whole dash minus BA whole dash using property of a transpose. Now, what AB whole dash is? It is also another property. I can write B dash into A dash. Again, apply the same property here. BA dash becomes what? A dash into B dash. Now, I replace B dash with B, A dash with A. Here, A dash with A, B dash with B. Because A and B are symmetric matrices. That is what they are given. If A and B are symmetric matrices, if A and B are symmetric matrices, A dash is A and B dash must be equal to B. That is what I written. Now I write it is minus of AB minus BA. What AB minus BA? It is X. What we get? X dash is minus X. Therefore, the matrix X and hence the matrix AB minus BA is a skew symmetric matrix. Very simple example. I hope you followed. In fifth question, show that the matrix B dash AB, product of three matrices they are given, B dash A B, is symmetric or skew symmetric according as the matrix A is symmetric or skew symmetric. If matrix A is symmetric, we have to show that B dash AB is symmetric. If A matrix is skew symmetric, I have to show that B dash AB is also skew symmetric matrix. Two cases I have to consider. Say case 1, let A be a symmetric matrix, that is A dash equal to A. Next, let me write matrix X equal to B dash AB. Now I consider X dash. In order to show that this B dash AB, that is X matrix is symmetric, I have to show that X dash equal to what? X I have to prove. I have to show that X dash equal to X. So X dash is, it is B dash AB whole dash. Now remember, one of the property we learnt, that is AB whole dash is what? B dash into A dash. This properties get continued. Now consider three matrices. Transpose of A into B into C is C dash, B dash, A dash. Even it can be continued. A, B, C, D whole dash will be what? Transpose of D into transpose of C into transpose of B into transpose of A. So here I am going to apply that rule. First I have to write B dash, next I have to write A dash, next transpose of this matrix, that is B dash whole dash I have to write. Now it is B dash into A dash into what? B dash whole dash is B. This is standard property because A dash whole dash is the same as B. Now what A dash I can write? A, because in this case we are considering matrix A as a symmetric matrix. What I get? B dash A B by equation 1, because A is symmetric. So it is equal to X. Therefore, the matrix X that is B dash AB is symmetric matrix. First part is completed. Now let me consider the second part. When A is skew symmetric, I have to show that B dash AB is skew symmetric. Let me write here itself. Case 2. Let A be skew symmetric now. Let A be skew symmetric. Then what? A dash is minus A. Now consider X as B dash AB. Then consider X dash, that is B dash AB whole dash. Apply the same property. It is B dash A dash B dash whole dash. It is B dash A dash into B. Now what A dash I have to replace? What A dash is now in this case? Minus A. So therefore here I get B dash into minus A into B. That is equal to minus B dash AB. That is equal to minus X. Since X dash is equal to minus X, transpose of X is a negative of X. What kind of matrix X is? Skew symmetric. Therefore, the matrix X, that is B dash AB, is a skew symmetric matrix. Very simple question. Move on to next questions. Okay, now in sixth question, required to find the values of X, Y, Z. They appear as elements of this matrix. If this matrix A satisfies the equation A dash into A equal to I, that is a transpose of A multiplied with matrix A, gives us identity matrix. If it is so, then what must be the values of X, Y, Z? Very simple question. Let me start with this equation. Consider A dash into A equal to I. Write transpose of this matrix. In the first column 0 to YZ, second column, second row elements XY minus Z, third row elements in third column X minus Y Z. This is A dash into matrix A. Write matrix as it is. 0 to YZ, second row elements xy minus z, third row elements x minus y z is equal to I. I is identity of which order I have to write? Of order 3, because here square matrix under consideration is also 3. So I have to write 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Now let me multiply these two. 3 by 3 matrix on multiplying, you are able to get one more 3 by 3 matrix. Let me write it. First row, first column, 0 into 0 plus x into x square plus x into x square. 0 plus x square plus x square. How much? 2x square. First row, second column, 0 into 2y, 0, x into y plus x into minus y. xy minus y get cancels, 0. First row, third column, 0 into z, x into minus z minus zx plus zx again get cancels, it is 0. Now second row, first column, 2y into 0 plus xy minus xy get cancels, 0. Second row, second column, 2y into y, 4y square plus y into y plus y square minus y into minus y plus y square. 4y square plus y square plus y square. How many y square? 6y square. Second row, third column, 2yz minus yz minus yz. So all of them get cancels, 0. Third row, first column, 0 minus zx plus zx, 0. Third row, second column, 2yz minus yz minus yz. 2yz minus 2yz cancels. Third row, third column, z square minus z into minus z plus z square, z into z, z square. How many z square? 3z square. P is equal to identity matrix 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Now on equating the elements, on equating corresponding elements, we get 2x square equal to 1, 6y square equal to 1 and 3z square equal to 1. Therefore, x is plus or minus 1 by root 2, y is plus or minus 1 by root 6 and z is plus or minus 1 by root 3. That completes the example. Very simple one. Here required to find the value of x, one of the element in the matrix, satisfying this equation. Look at RHS, they are given O, means it is a null matrix. Order, of which order I had to consider, whether I had to consider of order 1 by 3 or 3 by 1, it depends on what the LHS matrix is. Operate all these three matrix. If you are ending with the 2 by 2 matrix, you write the null matrix of order 2. If you are ending with 2 by 2 matrix, 3 by 3 matrix, you write 3 by 3 null matrix. Now, first matrix is of order 1 by 3. Second matrix is of order 3 by 3. So, what is the order of resulting matrix? 1 by 3 you are going to get. Now, let me write that. First row, first column, 1 into 1, 1 plus 4 plus 1. This is one of the element. First row, second column, it is 2 plus 0 plus 0. Same row with third column, it is 0 plus 2 plus 2. That completes because of no other row. Now write this column matrix as it is, 0 to x is equal to O. So it is matrix 6 2 4 into column matrix 0 to x is equal to null matrix. First matrix is of order 1 by 3, second matrix is of order 3 by 1. On multiplying these two, you are going to get 1 by 1 matrix. That is one row, one column. Only one element will be there. 6 into 0, 0, 2 into 2, 4, plus 4 into x, 4x. This is a single element. Is equal to, I have to write a null matrix of order 1 by 1. Means only one element is there, that too it will be 0. Equating the elements. On equating the elements, we get 4x plus 4 is equal to 0 now. It is not O now, it is 0. Elements we are equating. It implies x equal to minus 1. That completes the solution. So, similarly, you can answer 8th and the 9th question. They are very simple. I will answer question number 10 now. In 10th question, they are insisting us to solve this problem using matrix algebra. Let us see what this problem is. A manufacturer produces 3 products, namely X, Y, Z, which he sells in 2 markets, maybe market 1, market 2, like here in the table they are given. The annual sales are indicated like this. Market 1, market 2, the products. What this table indicates? The product X in market 1, 10,000 units they are going to sell. What about this entry? This is related to product Z sold in market 2. So, this is what the information they are given. Now, if unit sale prices of XYZ are rupees 2.50, 1.50 and rupee 1, find total revenue in each market by selling those XYZ in first market and as well second market. Second one is, if the unit cost above 3 commodities are cost, this is selling price, this is cost price. Cost price of X is how much per unit? It is 2, Y 1 and Z 50 paisa, that is 0.5 rupees. Then required to find the gross profit. How to obtain the profit? Yes, what is the formula to find profit? Selling price minus cost price. The difference will give us the profit. So that is what we have to do it. Very simple question. Now let me write this given detail in the matrix form. Let matrix A equal to first row represent market number, second row represent second market. In this matrix, each row represent market. First row first market, second row second market. Now the columns of this matrix represents the products, namely XYZ. So now the entries are 10,000, 2,000, 18,000. Second row, the item sold in market 2, X product 6,000 items, Y 20,000 and product Z in market 2 8,000. 8,000 units are sold. So the given table written in the matrix form. Now to find the total revenue in each market, on selling these products XYZ in market 1, what is the revenue generated? Let matrix B equal to, I am writing column matrix. That is the selling price of XYZ I am writing. It is 2.5, 1.5, 1. How to get the revenue? Just multiplying the number of items sold into its selling price. Add all those, that sum will give us the total revenue generated in the market. So that is why I consider A into B. Consider AB. That is matrix A. First row elements 10,000, 2,000, 18,000. Second row 6,000, 20,000, 8,000 into column matrix 2.5, 1.5, 1.0. This is a 2/3 matrix. This is 3/1 matrix. You are going to get a 2/1 matrix. You are going to get 2/1 matrix. Now let me write that 2/1 matrix. First row, this column. 10,000 into 2.5. How much you get? 25,000. 2,000 into 1.5. How much you are going to get? 3,000. 18,000 into 1. 18,000. Add all those products. 5 plus 3, 8. 8 plus 8, 16. that is 46,000. Next, second row, first column, here I have to write 6,000 into 2.5, how much it is? 15,000. 20,000 into 1.5, how much it is? 30,000. 8,000 into 1, 8,000. Add these two, how much you are going to get? 53,000. Now you can write, therefore, revenue, total revenue in market 1, total revenue in market 1, how much? 46,000. Total revenue in market 2, how much it is? 53,000. This is first sub question. In the second sub question, required to find the gross profit. This is the cost price. Let B equal to, so here you have to write matrix B. Let B equal to, this is the selling price, this is the cost price. How much it is? Rupees 2.0, 1 rupee and 50 paisa. After writing B matrix, again you have to write, consider A into B. Matrix A, 10,000, 2,000, 18,000, second row 6,000, 20,000, 8,000 into next column matrix. It is 2, 1, 0.5 is equal to, this is 2 by 3 matrix, this is a 3 by 1 matrix. You have to end with 2 by 1 matrix. Now 10,000 into 2, 20,000, 2,000 into 1, 2,000, 18,000 into 0.5, 9,000. So how much you are going to get? 31,000. Next, second row with the same column, 6,000 into 2, it is 12,000, 20,000 into 1, 20,000, 8,000 into 0.5, it is 4,000. How much it is? 36,000. So what this 31,000 represents, can I tell? The cost price of all the 3 products which are sold in market 1. This is the cost price. What is the selling price? Here it is selling price, 46,000. So what is the gross profit? 46,000 minus 31,000. Similarly, selling price of XYZ in market 2, 53,000. What is the actual cost price of those items? That is 36,000. Difference of those two, you are going to get the profit, gross profit in market 2. So therefore, gross profit in market 1 equal to 46,000 minus 31,000. Gross profit in market 2, it is a 53,000 minus 36,000. You write that difference of amount. I hope it is quite simple. Only thing is you have to write it in the appropriate matrix form. Just by matrix multiplication you are able to find the required answer. Let us move on to the next question. In 11th question, they are given this matrix equation where X is given as a matrix which is unknown to us. Even we don't know what is the order of that matrix. Required to find matrix X such that on multiplying this unknown matrix with this given matrix, you have to end with this resulting matrix. Let us see how we can proceed. First we have to decide order of the matrix. How we can decide order of the matrix? Look at here. I will assume that matrix X is unknown. I will write it as M by N matrix into a known matrix here. Say Y. What is the order of this matrix? So 2 by 3. On the right hand side, another known matrix is there. What is the order of this? 2 by 3. Now, in order to multiply these two, basically multiplication must be defined, because in order to get X into Y equal to Z, by this what we obtain? N value must be equal to 2. That is the number of columns of matrix X must be equal to 2. On multiplying these two matrices, what is the order of resulting matrix? M by 3. Here in the resulting matrix they are given, it is of order 2 by 3. So therefore, the value of M must be equal to what? 2. So now can I tell what is the order of that matrix X? It is M by N matrix, nothing but it is 2 by 2 matrix. It must be a square matrix of order 2. Now how many elements are there? 4 elements. We can assume them as A, B, C, D. Our job is to find those 4 elements. Let me do it now. By given matrix equation, it is clear that order of matrix X must be 2 by 2. Let matrix X equal to say A, B, C, D. Consider the given equation. Matrix A, B, C, D into matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is equal to resulting matrix -7, -8, -9. It is a 2, 4, 6. This implies multiply these two matrices. First row, first column, it is A plus 4B. First row, second column, it is a 2A plus 5B. First row, third column, it is 3A plus 6B. Next, second row, first column, it is a C plus 4D. Second row, second column, it is a 2C plus 5D. Second row, third column, it is a 3C plus 6D is equal to -7, -8, -9. It is a 2, 4, 6. On equating corresponding elements, we get, let me write convenient equations. All these three, 2 equations, 2 unknowns I will write. A plus 4B equal to -7. I will write it as 1. 3A plus 6B equal to -9. I am equating this, that is it is A plus 2B. I am dividing by 3 equal to minus 3. Second equation. Then here C plus 4D is equal to 2. Write it as equation 3. And this one 3C plus 6D is equal to 6. That is C plus 2D is equal to 2. On solving 1 and 2, you will get AB. On solving 3 and 4, you will get C and D. Now let us do that. Consider equation 1 minus equation 2. We get A plus 4B equal to minus 7. A plus 2B is equal to minus 3. On subtraction, A get cancels. 2B equal to minus 4. It implies B equal to minus 2. Put B equal to minus 2 in equation 1, that is here. We get it is A minus 8 equal to minus 7. It implies A equal to 1. Now let me consider equation 3 and equation 4. Consider equation 3 minus equation 4. We get C minus C get cancels. 4D minus 2D, it is 2D. It is 2 minus 2, 0. It implies D equal to 0. Put D equal to 0 in equation 3. What we get? C equal to 2. We get C equal to 2. Therefore, required matrix X equal to, it is A, B, C, D. Now substitute the values of A, B, C, D. What is A? 1. What is B? Minus 2. What is C? 2. It is 0. So this is the procedure of obtaining that unknown matrix. What we did, first we decided order of that matrix and elements as A, B, C, D. Then on multiplying and equating with the right hand side matrix elements, you are obtaining different equations containing unknowns A, B, C, D. Pick the appropriate equations, solve for A, B, C, D, then resubstitute A, B, C, D in this. That completes the example. Now let us move on to answering the 12th question. So here we had to prove it again by induction method. Let me do that. First we will prove A b to the power of n equal to b to the power of n into A. So I am writing let Pn is A into b to the power of n is equal to b to the power of n into A. For n equal to 1, LHS A into b to the power of 1, RHS b power of 1 into A. I can write it as AB because BA is same as AB. That is what they are given. If A and B are matrices of the same order such that AB equal to BA, then prove that result. So this is by delta. Therefore, Pn is true for n equal to 1. On LHS A b to the power of 1, on RHS b to the power of 1 into A, but here AB, here BA, I can write BA as AB using that given condition. So this result is true for n equal to 1. Next assumption, assume that Pn is true for n equal to k. That is, what the result now? A into b to the power of k is equal to b to the power of k into a. This is assumption. We now prove that Pn is true for n equal to k plus 1. That is, to prove that a into b to the power of k plus 1 is equal to b to the power of k plus 1 into a. This is the result I had to prove. For this, I will start with LHS. Consider a into b to the power of k plus 1. I write it as a into b to the power of k into b. This is what I written. A into b to the power of k into b. But what is a into b to the power of k in the assumption step? It is b to the power of k into a. It is b to the power of k into a into b. Now, it is b to the power of k into ab using associative axiom. Now, what ab I can write as ba? It is b to the power of k into ba I write by data. So, now b to the power of k into b I can write b to the power of k plus 1 into a. That completes the example. Therefore, Pn is true for n equal to k plus 1. Write the conclusion. Hence, by mathematical induction, Pn is true for all positive integers. So, first part is completed. Now, let me take the second part. Let Pn it is ab whole to the power of n is equal to a to the power of n into b to the power of n. For n equal to 1, LHS ab whole to the power of 1, that is equal to ab. RHS a to the power of 1 into b to the power of 1, LHS equal to RHS. Therefore, Pn is true for n equal to 1. Assume that Pn is true for n equal to k. That is, ab whole to the power of k plus 1 is equal to, ab whole to the power of k is equal to a to the power of k into b to the power of k. We now prove that Pn is true for n equal to k plus 1. That is, ab whole to the power of k plus 1 is equal to a to the power of k plus 1 into b to the power of k plus 1. That is what I had to prove. For that, I start with, consider ab whole to the power of k plus 1. I rewrite this as ab whole to the power of k into ab I write. In the assumption step, ab whole to the power of k can be written as this. So, therefore, I write it is a to the power of k into b to the power of k into ab. Now, I write this as a to the power of k into b to the power of k into a into b. Now, look at the previous result. What b to the power of k into a can be written as? What b to the power of k into a can be written as? A b to the power of k I can write. I am using that result. This is equal to a to the power of k into b to the power of k into a is a b to the power of k into b using the earlier result. Now this is equal to a to the power of k into a into b to the power of k into b. This is a to the power of k plus 1 into b to the power of k plus 1. We started with ab whole to the power of k plus 1. We ended with a power of k plus 1 into b to the power of k plus 1. In order to prove this, we are using two facts. One is, in the problem they are given ab equal to ba. Another one, the previous result a b to the power of n is same as b to the power of n into a. Using those two results, we are able to prove this. Here we have to write, therefore, Pn is true for n equal to k plus 1. Hence, by mathematical induction, Pn is true for all positive integral values. Those two statements I have to write. By this, the example 12 is completed. Let me take the remaining questions. Finally, 3 questions. They are multiple choice questions. They are very simple. If A is a matrix containing elements, first row alpha, beta, second row gamma minus alpha, such that A square is identity matrix, then which of the relation is true? So let me start with A square equal to I. A square is A into A. That is alpha beta gamma minus alpha into alpha beta gamma minus alpha is equal to identity matrix. First row, first column, alpha square plus beta gamma. First row, second column, alpha beta minus alpha beta, 0. Second row, first column, gamma alpha minus gamma alpha, 0. Second row, second column, gamma beta minus alpha into minus alpha, that is alpha square plus beta gamma is equal to 1, 0, 0, 1. On equating the corresponding elements, alpha square plus beta gamma equal to 1. Write all these terms to the right hand side. Which option is correct? 1 minus alpha square minus beta gamma. 1 minus alpha square minus beta gamma equal to 0. So option C is the right answer. Next one, if the matrix A is both symmetric and skew symmetric, then what kind of matrix A is? Very interesting question. A square matrix is both symmetric and symmetric as well, skew symmetric. Then what kind of matrix it will be? What is the condition for symmetric? A dash must be equal to A. A dash must be equal to A. What is the condition for skew symmetric? A dash must be equal to minus A. A square matrix which is symmetric means condition 1 has to be satisfied. In order to say that matrix A is skew symmetric, this condition it has to satisfy. Now they are saying if it is both symmetric as well as skew symmetric, means A dash must be equal to A as well A dash must be equal to minus A. These two condition it has to satisfy. So therefore, by using these two, what I can write? Matrix A must be same as minus A. Their LHS are same, RHS must be same. Adding A both side, what you are going to get? On the left hand side, A plus A, 2A. On the right hand side, A plus of minus A, null matrix. Dividing by 2, what you end with? A is a null matrix. So therefore, any square matrix is said to be both symmetric and skew symmetric means it must be a null matrix. No other matrix other than null matrix, these two conditions can be satisfied. So therefore, right option is 0 matrix. Now here, A is a square matrix such that A square is A. They are saying A square equal to A, then I plus A whole cube minus 7 times of A will give us what? Now let me expand this using A plus B whole cube. It is I cube, means I into I plus 3 times of I square into A plus 3 times of I into A square plus A cube minus 7 times of A. This 7 times of A written as it is. I applied A plus B whole cube, A cube plus 3A square B plus 3A B square plus B cube. Using that I written. What I cube is? I only. I cube. It is I into I will end with identity matrix. Next I square into A. I square is what? I into I, that is equal to I. Therefore, I square into A is same as I into A, that is equal to what? A. So this is A, 3 times of A. Plus, what I into A square? A square, it is 3A square. Plus A cube, I can write A cube as A square into A, minus 7A. It is I plus 3A plus, what A square is? What A square is? A. So it is 3A plus A cube is there, A square into A. What A square into A is same as A into A, because A square is A. What A into A square. Again, what A square is? A. So therefore, I write A square into A as A minus 7. That is equal to I plus 3A plus 3A plus A. It is 7 times of A minus 7 times of A. 7A minus 7A doesn't cancel. It is null matrix. What I plus O? It is equal to I. Therefore, identity matrix is the right answer. They are very simple questions. So with this, we completed the chapter matrices. It is very simple chapter. Remember, in this chapter, you are going to get one 1 mark question, one 3 mark question, one 5 mark question. This question is in part A, this question is in part C, this is in part D. So put together around 9 marks you are going to get in this chapter. It is a bonus chapter, very simple questions will be there in the board exam. So now your job is to complete the assignment part, that is previous exam questions you need to answer. I hope you can complete them very easily after completion of this chapter. With this, we end this session. In the next session, again we are going to meet with the new chapter, that is determinants. Thank you.